Thank you very much. Yeah, absolutely. Let me talk about the Court of Common Pleas first. The Court of Common Pleas is a county-wide court. It covers the entire county of York. Lawyers would call it the Court of General Jurisdiction. Well, what does that mean? There's three major segments to the Court of Common Pleas. There's the criminal court. The criminal court deals with just what you'd expect, serious crimes. In Pennsylvania, those can be classified as misdemeanors or felonies. But what are we talking about? Drug possession, drug use, serious violence, homicide cases, anything of that nature, serious crimes. Come before the court, often dealt with in jury trials. Civil court. What's civil court? Sometimes it's not very civil at all, but it's where people bring lawsuits against each other. It can be businesses suing each other for breach of contract. Somebody didn't deliver goods when they promised to. It can be individuals suing, maybe they got injured, slip and fall cases, auto accidents. Somebody caused harm to another human being. In our country, we don't take the law into our own hands, we take it into the court. So that would be the civil division. Then another division of the court is the family law division. The family law division of the court handles all sorts of issues dealing with family status, divorce, child custody, support orders, property settlements. The court also deals with protection from abuse orders if there's an abusive relationship. That all happens up at the Court of Common Pleas. So that's what we're all running to do. All right. Thank you. I'm Craig Trebilcock. When you vote, please vote for the attorney whose name you cannot pronounce. Just go down the list and look for the one you can't pronounce. That's me. I'm a trial attorney in York. I've been a trial attorney for the past 25 years. I've done over 100 jury trials to conclusion. I'm one of the two attorneys that you may have read in the newspaper who did the case of Albert Snyder versus the Westboro Baptist Church. I and my partner, Sean Summers, took that case on a pro bono basis, which means we didn't charge a legal fee because it was the right thing to do. The Yahoos came in from Kansas and trashed out the funeral of a military man, a young Marine who gave his life in the service of our country. And we weren't going to put up with that. We weren't going to tolerate that here in York County. We weren't going to put up with it. I wasn't going to put up with it because I wear a lot of hats in life. And one of the hats I wear is as a colonel in the United States Army Reserve. I'm still serving my country after 24 years. When I took that oath to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States, it did not end when I got to the point where I thought, gee, I want to make a bunch of money as a lawyer. I decided that I wanted to stay in and continue serving my country. I'm the new commander of a unit down in Norristown called the 153rd LSO, ongoing service. As part of my service, I've served in West Germany. I was 10 kilometers from the wall when it came down in 1989. I've served my country in Bosnia. I was mobilized for the invasion of Iraq, and I went there with the Army and served with the Marine Corps and was involved in the march up to Baghdad. While there, I ran 7 courthouses, rewrote the Iraqi judicial code, and was in charge of 120 judges. So I know my way around a courthouse. I'm running for Court of Common Pleas judge because of the aforementioned reasons leading to this point. We need a veterans court in York County. We send our young people to Afghanistan and Iraq, and we don't get the same ones back that we send overseas. They come home with PTSD, they come home with traumatic brain injury, they come home, good kids who went over and had no problem, come home and they're drinking too much, and they get in trouble with the law. We need to take care of them. We did not take care of the guys who came home from Vietnam. We're not going to let that happen again. There's 110,000 homeless veterans in this country right now. It's a disgrace, and it happened largely because we didn't take care of the guys who came home from Vietnam. What we do in a veterans court, we don't throw people in jail at taxpayer expense. We send them to VA to get treatment. We save taxpayer money. How many times do you see a program where it saves taxpayer money? Last year, Allegheny County saved $3.6 million by having a veterans court because it's cheaper and it's the moral thing to do to treat veterans than to throw them in jail. So it's a win-win situation. I want to be the judge on that veterans court. Take any questions. Yes, sir.
sentences is being streamlined on criminals and murderers. How do you come to a point where what the sentence can be? I think, personally myself, I think some of them are just way too late.
Right.
And they lead to the criminal.
Right. There's sentencing guidelines that judges have to follow that are set in Pennsylvania. But within those guidelines, the judges have discretion. If you think that the sentences being given are too light, you got to elect the right kind of judges. I've been a military prosecutor. Okay, I'm up here talking about the Veterans Court and how we need to divert people off. That's what judges do, is make those hard decisions. Who is a career criminal who needs to go to prison? Who is an honorable person who's just a little messed up because they served their country in combat and saw some horrible things? I am the best friend of somebody like a veteran who's suffering like that. I'm the worst enemy of somebody who's a thug and is engaging in violent crime. I've busted gangs in the military, and I have to stop. Next question, please. Yes, sir.
I appreciate your position about being the moral thing as far as veterans, but what about just anybody? Isn't there for many people, isn't there a better way than jail?
Yes, thank you. Terrific question. The Veterans Court is a continuation of a great tradition that's happened in York of problem-solving courts. We've been throwing people in jail. You know, when you're committing murder or robbery, right, you're going to jail. No doubt about it. Problem-solving courts. Okay, we've been throwing young kids into jail for years for possession of a small amount of drugs. I'm against drugs. You're all against drugs. But what do you learn in prison? You learn how to become a criminal. Amen. And at taxpayer expense, you learn to be a criminal. It is cheaper and better to treat these people. We have a drug treatment court in York now, headed up by Judge Penny Blackwell, great judge, and it's working. The Veterans Court, 95% success rate, not repeat offenders. The drug courts, high level of not repeat offenders. We've got to look at things differently. We can't keep doing business the same way. We can't keep building prisons at taxpayer expense and throwing our kids away. And I'm stopped again. Just when I get going.
Well, I have a question myself. You say you want to help veterans and actually posit something about that, but as a judge, how are you going to affect that type of change?
As a judge, how would I affect that change? First of all, I believe that a judge has to be a leader in the community. That's different than being an activist judge. Okay, we've got judges who are leaders in the community. For this system to work, it has to go from the judges down through probation, down to the law enforcement. I'm already on a committee at the courthouse to start affecting this. We got to train the police officers, one to recognize that they have a veteran who may be in a crisis mode and he's not just some bad guy who's acting out. The probation officers have to be educated on this. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court is behind this initiative and is supporting it. And as a judge, you got to give the leadership to get this program going. I can provide that sort of leadership. I've commanded troops in combat. I'm president of the Bar Association. I'm a recognized leader in the community, and I'll get it done. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.